hip anatomy. Today, I just want to go over the hip anatomy. I think it's very important we understand properly and we're aware of what's going on at our hip while we perform any activities. So, on this note, our hip bone is considered of three bones that are going to connect together. Our ilium, that's going to be our upper lip, the upper lip of that bone. We got our ischium, which we all call our sits bone, and then our pubis, that's going to be connecting in the front through the pubic symphysis. And then posteriorly in the back, we're going to be connecting to the sacrum, and the sacrum is following down the lumbar spine. Okay, so that's just a small overview. All of those are connecting together at the acetabulum, that little point over here, which gives us a little Y, which creates the acetabulum fossa. The acetabulum fossa is where our femur goes, inserts, and called the acetabulo-femoral joint. And this is also called a ball and socket joint, as the head of our femur is getting inside that acetabulum, which permits all the ranges of motion available at our hip. So, if we look at the ranges of motion, we got flexion. With our knee bend, we're able to go and achieve 180 degrees of flexion. If we talk about extension, now we got 10 to 20 degrees of extension. We got abduction, which is bring our feet from this neutral position and that anatomical position, and we're pushing our leg out on our side, and we got 45 degrees of that range of motion. Then adduction, we could look at two different ways. From that 45 degree going back to neutral, or we could look at it from just that neutral position and then just bring our leg on, our right leg over our left leg, and then that's approximately 10 degrees. Then we got internal rotation. That's when we're bringing our knee inside. We're going to create torque at the hip, which we have only 40 to 45 degree of range of motion there. And then our external rotation, we got 45 degree when we bring our knee out. Okay, I listed a couple of lists of muscles here, but it's very important we understand the capability of our hip and what it can do. That way, if we understand properly, we are aware of how things get tight. So, per se, if we're sitting for a longer period of time, we're putting a lot of pressure on the anterior part of our hip, which, as you all know, we put pressure on the psoas and iliacus muscles, since they're in shortened position most of the time. And then, which means if we're in flexed hip position, we're also putting a big stretch on our posterior chain muscle, glutes, and some the obturator, internus, piriformis muscles also, if we're going more in details. But I don't want to go too much in detail today. I just want to inform you and create a sense of awareness that our hip is made of three bone, ilium, ischium, and pubis, connects in the front through our pubic symphysis and posteriorly through our sacrum. The hip is a ball and socket joint, which means it has 6 different ranges of motion, and if we want to perform to our optimal level and create the most adaptation through our performance, we're going to be able to explore all those ranges of motion. So on this note, guys, class is done, and create awareness at your hip.